And in there, they got us drinking liquor and playing blowing saxophones. Black people in that temple. That guy Eugene Adams tape did it. And I actually, and the thing about it was, I said, I got to find a book with the layout of the Temple of Borobudur. And I found a big, thick book. And they wanted $80 for it used. Used. And the Spirit said, you're going to get this book. So when I said, hell, I'm going to pay the $80. And I went up to the counter to and hand him the book, and he opened up the book and the binding broke. But the book was still together because the binding, he said, well, I can't charge you $80 for this now. He said, so can you give me 30? And I said, well, that's the Spirit. He said, that's the Spirit and stuff like that. So this Lucamay deck got some stuff in there. It's called the Lucamay deck, and it's unbelievable and stuff. How
do you spell that, Bob?
Lucama. The Lucamay deck. And yeah, it's unbelievable. And they got all kind of stuff in there to be studied. Because remember the Tarot is it's a study system of the soul and the mystical surrounding, but it's also a divination system. So a lot of people talk about it, and when they find that they can't divine with it because they can't study, they give it up, and they don't go and study the actual cards and stuff that was going on, and stuff that's going on. So, Obatala chugging back that liquor can mean a certain thing too. It can also mean that we don't necessarily have to deal with human concerns that would make someone inefficient. With them sitting around the table and all of them drinking, it means that, hey, this is now the return of the gods in the West, because they said we'll rise in the West.
Yeah.
So when you get a chance, if you can get this Lucamay deck, you got to go online and try to get it. And when you get it and stuff, just start studying cards. Because it comes with a little book, and half the book is in Spanish, and then they got a little piece in English. So you're going to have to basically, it's a picture window, and you basically have to just look. They give you a little bit of information on the actual cards, but you're going to have to really look and just to see what your spirit tells you. What your spirit tells you on that particular thing. So, let's see. I just want to see a few other things. We need to deal with, and then we're gonna go to a massive question and answer. So I think we can go ahead and start on that and get the ball rolling. Get the ball rolling on that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was going through some stuff. You know how sometimes something just pop into your head out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I was just looking at Hemmitt, and I was watching CNN online, and they got the science stuff, and they were talking about the comets, and I was saying to myself, a comet is something that comes here from outer space, and the only difference to me, phonetically, between comet and comet is how you spell it. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to see if you could touch on the illusion, the similarity between comet and comet.
In etymology, all of that stuff adds up.
Right.
If it didn't, how could they even get codes and all this kind of stuff now these days when they make these Bible codes and they make all this kind of stuff? And it doesn't necessarily, and they say this Bible code works. Well, it's still, even though it's a later thing, it still was taken from ancient scripts. You see what I'm saying? And it might have been translated umpteen times, but nevertheless, it was an actual script that once existed in the ancient world, ancient Egypt mostly. And as a result, they can make codes from it. So if it's one of those things where codes can be made out of these words, then you can also say that etymology, everything has a connection. So yes, it could be that, it could be that, on that particular level. So yeah. What's that? Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
When you were speaking about that we're molecules and everything
Yeah.
like that, well, there's a film called The Last Mimsy.
Yeah, exactly.
If people would get that,
Yep.
they would get the whole
Get the whole
show.
thing last Mimsy. Yeah,
Right.
that's exactly.
And then the other piece to it is when we were talking about Atlantis. Now Disney made an anime movie called Atlantis. And
Yeah.
the people in it looks like us.
Yeah, in 2000.
Right. So if you can get
Yeah.
a hold of that,
Yeah, in
that
2000.
that
And you
tells
know
a
what?
story too.
They got a channel called the Chiller Channel. Come on, right before CNN. And one night I recorded it, but see, technology every now and then fucks up. I recorded this thing on Atlantis. And they was trying to find the origin. They was talking about Atlantis and they did all this type of stuff, but they was trying to find the origin. They were saying, well, could the Mayan temples be Atlantis? But we got Atlantis from different parts of the earth.
Right.
This what happened, because we know it was all one landmass. Okay. And they showed something that they never showed before, and I was recording it. But I got that damn DVR. When they get to a certain amount of movies or pictures, it starts to delete. But you gotta mash protect, put a protect on that shit. But I swear by the DVR now. Because you can go backwards, you know, all kind of stuff like that. But you gotta put, if you get up in the 60s, you got 60 entries, it will start deleting. And I had this thing and the DVR deleted it. Now, if I'd have put I could have put a DVD in the DVD player recorder and recorded it, or I could have put a VHS in and I'd have had it. But this is what this thing said. They said, could this Mayan temple be Atlantis? This whole, and they went with that big one, Teotihuacan, whatever thing is called. Huh? Teotihuacan. They went to that big one. They said, well, let us show you something. They went off the coast of Ghana. I bullshit you not. And they had the same temple complex in a space about big as this room. They say, could this be the model that they was planning to build Teotihuacan by over in West Africa? I said, look at this shit. They had it was about as big as this room, but it had the whole temple layout as the one in Mexico or wherever that thing is, Peru or whatever that part Teotihuacan was. With the pyramids and all. In West Africa. I say, why we never saw this? Because if you saw this, you would know that that was an African culture. And you would know who built it. That's why it's so much like ancient Egypt or ancient Kemet. And they had it, and the damn thing got deleted. But I go every night, and it's gonna come on again.
Inside that pyramid, they got the pictures of the people who lived during that time.
Yeah.
And the lightest brother is your complexion.
Right.
Yeah. So inside that pyramid, they trying to tell the story.
Hey, I met a whole group of people from Greece. A whole group of people, and they were your color. Right. In Greek town in Detroit. Right. And I said, well, what you? I said, well, you all, he said, my family been in Greece since the beginning of time. Yeah. You see, since the beginning of time. Now, Oxford University, because you had Martin Bernal and the Black Athena thing went off in the late 80s. Right. And Black Athena in 1992. And that went off. So they quietly did one in Oxford. See, they will tell the truth when they live in a society where we are not in mass. So over in Britain, they had a conference and put the end to the Greek thing and showed how Greek culture is nothing but an extension of Phoenician, Carthage. Well, you're right. If the damn Athena is first comes, they trace her to Carthage, or what you call modern day Libya, you see, and that's what Athens, the center of all that stuff was. Then obviously, and they did it through the mythology. They showed the mythology, the Greek mythology. They showed the Phoenician mythology, and they were like, wait, this is not but an extension of those people. And so to have a person your color in 2003, it means that It took them years to sequester those people, you see what I'm saying, to the point whereas when you go over there, they got you in a certain part, you see,
Right.
you know, they got